We shall now look at tables. Remember, as we had mentioned earlier, that tables should not be used to lay out your web page, right? We mentioned that earlier because CSS lacked adequate attributes. Designers use tables to lay out the complete web page, but today that is not recommended. Tables, therefore, should only be used to present data in tabular form. So let's look at this HTML file below. So let's hit preview, and what you see is that we have already implemented a table which lists out employees with their salary, bonus, as well as the supervisor name. What we are going to do is we shall add another table. Alright, so let's get going. Okay. So the table begins with the table start tag. The data that you want to present in your table is contained in the tBody element. So therefore it starts with the tBody tag and it will also end with the tBody tag. Every row in your table starts with the tr tag, right? And within a row you have cells, right? So if there are 3 cells in a particular row, which is what we have to do, we shall add a td tag for each cell. Okay, the first td tag will include the serial number, the second td tag will include the item, which is carrots, and the third td tag will include the type of item we are talking about, which in our case is a fruit. So there you go. So this is one row. Okay, so once again it begins with the tr start tag, it ends with the tr start tag, and within it contains each cell. Each cell begins with the td start tag and ends with the td end tag. Alright, so let's add one more cell. Right, so it will then we have pineapples, end the cell tag or the td tag. Then this is once again a fruit. In fact, carrot could be a fruit, but let's just call it. Yeah. So now let's end the tr tag, let's end the body tag, and let's end the table tag, right? So let's save this and hit preview. So there you go. So now we are displaying the data we just entered in tabular form, right? Of course, it doesn't look as nice as the table that already exists on the page, and we'll get to how we can make it look nice. So now let's move on to the next step. Now typically, as you've seen with the existing table, there is a heading as well, right? So you need to know what each column represents. So now let's add a heading to our table. The heading section begins with the T head tag and ends with the T head tag, right? And within the heading section, you will also use the tr tag to signify a particular row. So if in case you want to have 2 headings, for whatever reason, you'll have 2 tr elements. Now the difference here is that instead of using the td tag which you use for data, for the heading section you will use the th tag, right? So let's put serial number, the next one will be item, and finally what is it, right? So great, now we've added the heading. Now hit preview again. So there you go. So as you can see, what's happened here is that the heading is displayed slightly differently from the data. Alright, so now we've got a basic table in place. You obviously have to add the other rows that constitute this table. You can add more than what is suggested in the first step. But now let us move on to styling your table. So as we saw that the existing table has pretty much an attractive look and feel, right? So how have we created a table like this? So now let's look at the HTML file and the CSS file to figure out how we managed to do this. Now look at the existing table here, right? The existing table, note that every row has a class assigned to it. So the first row has a class named odd, the second row has a class named even, the third row has a class named odd again, so on and so forth. So we are alternating between even and odd. Okay. Now let's look at the CSS file. So this table has an ID called Nifty. So here it is, we are assigning some styles for the ID Nifty. By using the font family attribute, we are suggesting that different font should be used for content in this table, right? We are specifying a font size, we are specifying a width of the table, we are aligning the text. So text align left essentially means that the text should be left aligned, right? Just like you have in a word processor. Then we are assigning a background color, and see how we are assigning a background by using a URL, right? So what this will do is it is going to pick the image from this URL and assign that as the background, right? So we are not assigning a color really, we are assigning an image as the background. And finally we have a margin. What is unique to tables in as far as the CSS here is concerned is the border collapse attribute. So we've used the border collapse attribute, assigning it a value of collapse. What this will do is insert a single line between two adjacent rows and adjacent columns, right? So by doing this, you can make your table look nice. What we've also done is that in the heading section, we have assigned a different image as the background, right? So do you see this? For the rest of the table, you essentially have, say, image 1, which is pattern.png, whereas for the heading section, we are assigning another image, which is pattern head.png. Now here we're assigning different styles to the th element and also a set of different styles to the dd element, right? Now what is interesting is the odd and even class that we saw existing in the HTML file. So what we're doing here is we're assigning different style attributes to odd and even, and therefore they kind of appear differently, right? Also, if you look at what's happening, as soon as you move your mouse on the table rows, you find that if your mouse is hovering on a particular row, then the background becomes white. Now that is controlled by this particular CSS, right? So look at the syntax, it's pretty self-explanatory. So now what your task is to apply similar attributes, right, on the table that you have created and make it look as nice, if not better, than the existing table.